Hey, what's happening? It's your boy Big K.R.I.T, third core representative, Mississippi native, Cadillactica coming out November the 11th, shout, and you checking out the stash.com, pimpin'.
Mama, no need to worry about me.
It was. I mean, for me also, it was always about tying all the projects together as well, and you know, explaining where the Cadillac came from that crash landed on planet Earth on Life from Underground, and it gave me the opportunity to literally take people deeper into my conscious, my mind frame, and I was like, well, what could I call this? And I decided, well, I'm gonna create a planet, which is all of my thoughts and how they might be obscure sometimes, how things may not be how most people are used to, and creating a planet and even looking at it from this like a life expectancy kind of thing, like what you deal with when you're younger, when you get middle age, when you get older, and then on your way out, and trying to figure out a way, how could I tell this story seamlessly and not make it seem preachy, but you just like, oh snap, now I understand what's going on. And when it comes to working with a lot of OGs, for me, I work with a lot of different artists, but I don't believe in just featuring somebody for the sake of featuring them. Like, we work and we do songs, and I do a song with you if it's jamming, but if it don't fit the project, it won't make it on the project. And so I worked and I kept working, and the Raphael Sadiq record, Soul Food, just one of those records that it was the second track he played for me. The first one was a hit single he got for himself, and then the next one, like, yo, K.R.I.T, check his beat out, and then that was the record. You know what I'm saying? It just organically happened, and it helped form the part of the project that's more like, well, what happens when you get a little older and life isn't what you thought it when you in your early 20s. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I wish I was young again. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just that whole journey, man, and I had to figure out a creative way to tell it. I think it was important because I was coming from a place with my music. I feel like it should always be relatable. I always wanted to make content that would move people and subject matter and things of that nature. So with my own album, I never wanted to get on stage and perform a record that I didn't believe in. And when you got that mentality, then that kind of cuts out a lot of music if you're not naturally used to creating it, if those words aren't the words you would naturally write for yourself. And so that's why I believe strongly in, one, working with the kind of artists that understand the music I make, trying to build on it. Now I'm about growth more than ever. So I spend countless amounts of hours trying to make the right music sonically to showcase that. But it was still about having soul and grit, you know what I'm saying? Even if I rely on synthesized instruments to somehow put some kind of live instrumentation in it, to still have some kind of singing, some kind of body, some kind of bass to it, because my music was always meant in my mind to make you feel something, and that's what it was really all about. I mean, I can't help it. I take Mississippi everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? So that's off the rip. As soon as I speak, people know, oh shit, where you from? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but for me, it was more like I go back and I look at that footage, and I'm very proud of how I handled it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the best way for me to handle it, first off. Two, to remember, Lauryn Hill got booed at the Apollo. Outkast have been booed before. It's a lot of people that have been booed, but that didn't deter them from their goal. And I can look at them and see where they're at now. And for me, it was just testing. It was like, it was my first time being in a situation where, okay, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna fuck it up? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna keep performing like you supposed to? And I kept performing, man, and it was worth it. But what you don't see in the footage, and I tell everybody, obviously before I went on, there was a lot of other artists that went on. I was invited, you know what I'm saying, to come on last minute, and I did 2 songs. Started out with country shit and booed. Hometown Hero came on after that. People stopped booing. But you don't see that. You see the booing part. So it's also a point where I proved myself, and they saw that that wasn't going to shake me at all. And so it was a learning process, but it was necessary for my career. Again, something you can see that I went through, and that's what it's all about, you know. Cadillactica is a planet that I created consciously. Subconsciously, it's all of my thoughts and ideas. And I was trying to figure out a way to best explain where I'm coming from creatively. Music should be free in some kind of way. And I wanted to tell my story, or tell a story based off of using things that people are familiar with, but changing them a little bit, making them a little obscure and a little different, but sonically putting it on wax. And I think I was able to do that. And then it also ties into K.R.I.T was here, returning forever, forever and a day, life from the underground, King remembered in time. And I feel like I should always keep pushing this story, because there's an underlying message there, which is to try to make music that is timeless, music that makes sense. And I don't know, I scratch my head all day in the studio until at least people be able to look at all my music and be like, damn, he was literally telling us the right thing to do the entire time. I mean, well, King of the South, for me, one, I'm on Cadillactica, and I could be whatever I want on Cadillactica. And on top of that, I feel like what I embody as far as Southern music, Southern hip hop, it'll never go away. My rap name stands for King Remembered in Time. You know, and I started to see a lot of people be like, yo, K.R.I.T, it's time now. You know what I'm saying? Musically, we know where you're going, we ready. You ready, let's go, you know? And I think Mount Olympus was the beginning of that. And then this album was like, I'm here. And I'm not saying king in the sense of reigning over people or anything like that. It's just king in the sense of me knowing how strong I am as far as my message and what I do as far as music, and that there's nobody doing what I'm doing musically. And I'm literally in the studio writing these hooks, writing these verses, creating these songs alongside you know, other, you know, producers and stuff like. But it's very hands-on, and I wanted to express that to the fullest. You know, and then I come from a place where country means a lot more than what people may think it does. We're very proud of that. It's cool to be Southern where I'm from, and I want to express that to the fullest. I mean, not really, because at the end of the day, I know I'm not trying to disrespect any OGs, but as a man, I feel like I'm a king, and that's how I'm supposed to feel. And I won't feel any less than that. And I've been trying to tell people that my entire career. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's like I know now. I'm very comfortable in the music I make and what I rap about and how I spit and when I'm in the studio to the maximum. And so I gotta express that my team believe in me, and they gotta make sure that I believe in myself too. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to go 100% with it. I would say, man, I would say Saturday's celebration.
And why is that?
Because it's a different take. It's like I always decided I was gonna put one record on my album for my grandmother. Always. There's always gonna be one record on my album that I know she'd be proud of. And that record is kind of like me healing a little bit from her loss versus the vent, because the vent was like, she ain't around no more. I ain't got nobody to talk to. I Gotta Stay was me just first dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? And then I had a Singing on Live from the Underground reprise, which was still me coping with it. But Saturday's Equal Celebration is the whole idea of having to let go. That's why it's they kill me this day, bury me on this day, but then you got to let me go. And I feel like I was able to emotionally tell my personal story to my family, to my friends. I had the homie Jamie and Commons kill it. And his voice is so soulful. And I think I was able to accomplish a record that would stand on its own. Even outside of the album, I just wanted to be for people, period, that are trying to deal with and get over a loss. You know?